Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again this week. We are doing your request. 80% of you who voted said you wanted to see a vitamin. We picked vitamin C. Number 1, what is it? Number 2, what does it do? Number 3, do you need it? Number 4, how much should you take? Let us begin. Alright, so what is vitamin C? Vitamin C is an essential vitamin that acts in our body mainly as an electron donor. Think antioxidant if you'd like, or reducing agent, and it's a lot more than that, and we're going to get there. It is present in our body in two main forms. Its reduced form is known as ascorbate, or ascorbic acid, and its oxidized form is dehydroascorbic acid. Now, vitamin C, if you look at the structure of the molecule, is extremely similar to glucose, a sugar you're likely familiar with by now. Because of this fact, glucose and vitamin C actually do share a transporter in common. And this is why if one were to take vitamin C with a bolus of glucose and orange juice, you'd be absorbing less vitamin C than you'd think because it would be competing for that transporter. Or at least, that's a theory. Now the reason, in my humble opinion, this doesn't really seem to be even that important is because most tissues, most cells of our body, including in our gut where we absorb vitamin C, don't mainly or even solely use this transporter that it has in common with glucose, as it has another sodium-dependent vitamin C transporter. The only exception to this seems to be red blood cells. Okay, so what does vitamin C do? Vitamin C has a lot of roles in our body that include but are not limited to connective tissue development and maintenance, our immune health, bone formation, metabolic function, cholesterol to bile acid conversion, tryptophan to serotonin conversion, and a lot more stuff. But for the purpose of this video, let's focus on two because we try to keep these videos roughly under 10 minutes. We're going to focus this one on immune health and our tissue development. Now, speaking to vitamin C's role in our immune health, when our bodies are dealing with a microbe of any kind, our neutrophils, which are our body's most abundant type of white blood cell, will release oxidants. Yes, oxidants. And these oxidants, while being very efficient at dealing with pretty much any kind of microbe, can also cause damage to the neutrophils themselves or other tissues if not controlled. For this reason, our neutrophils will actually uptake a whole bunch of vitamin C, which then thereby acts as an antioxidant. And furthermore, this vitamin has been shown to lower overall inflammation and oxidative stress, likely caused by, at least in part, as you can imagine, its role in neutralizing these reactive oxygen species, or, in plain terms, acting as an antioxidant. A vitamin C molecule, when working as an antioxidant, will cycle back and forth about 4 times between its oxidized state, dehydroascorbic acid, and its reduced state, ascorbic acid. That is why there are two forms. It's not like you supplement with both. You'll just take ascorbic acid. As mentioned, vitamin C has a role in our connective tissue and bone development, repair, and maintenance. And this includes our blood vessels and our skin. This is due at least in part to the following reaction. We can see 2 important amino acids here on this collagen synthesis slide, namely proline and hydroxyproline. Both of these amino acids are integral parts of collagen protein, and we need vitamin C to synthesize hydroxyproline. In the process, our vitamin C molecule gets oxidized, as you can see. Interestingly, hydroxyproline seems to be more prevalent in the harder tissues. For example, as we see here in this study on the screen, fish skin collagen has less hydroxyproline than bovine Achilles tendon, which then has less than bone collagen. This irrelevant fun fact is brought to you by my weird brain that likes to know weird things. One more thing to note here, and this is pretty important. Regardless of what you may have read or heard from a friend or someone you trust, vitamin C's relationship to the common cold has probably been the most extensively studied aspect of the supplement or this vitamin. And there have been at this point hundreds, if not thousands, of studies looking at this topic and this relationship, of which there are conflicting results even to this day. So, we cannot say with certainty that having extra vitamin C will or will not shorten the common cold, but what we can say is that looking through meta-analyses, there does seem to be a decent amount of evidence for a roughly half-day shortening of the symptoms of the common cold associated with supplementation with vitamin C as a prophylactic or a preventative measure, as opposed to a treatment measure. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that you always have sufficient levels of vitamin C. But as I always say, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on the internet, so if you're thinking of taking vitamin C for a sickness of some sort or the common cold, consult your physician. Okay, do you need it? Well, this is one of those vitamins that's found in many different fruits and some vegetables, so if you do a quick Google search on foods high in vitamin C, and those foods are on your I'm eating that list, then if you even eat a semi-decent amount of them, it's likely you don't need to take any extra. Also, if you're taking a daily multivitamin already, it is highly likely you don't need to take any extra because vitamin C is a big part of that multivitamin. One thing to note on this topic, however, is that vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, which means your body can't store large amounts of it, and it cannot be stored in your body fat, unlike, your fat-soluble vitamins. So you want to make sure you're getting a dose of this vitamin every day, whether it's from food or supplementation. You may want to also consider getting some extra if you are trying to heal from a major wound, a surgery, a broken bone, or if you're fighting off an infection of some kind, to both increase the regeneration rate of the tissues and to help deal with the increased amount of oxidative stress. Also, alcohol consumption can increase your vitamin C loss by up to 50%. So if you are a regular consumer of alcohol, you'll almost certainly want to get at least a little bit of extra vitamin C. All right, last thing, how much should you take if you're going to take it? The current recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, on vitamin C is 90 milligrams for men and 75 milligrams for women. There is another amount, however, called the tolerable upper intake level, which is currently set at 2 grams per day. This means you could take much more than the RDA without much consequence at all until you get near that 2 grams amount, in which your main issues will end up being diarrhea and GI disturbances. So if you end up doing your own calculations when you're trying to figure out how much you're already currently taking and you come up with, say, 500 milligrams, you really have nothing to be concerned about. All right, everybody, that's it on vitamin C. Thanks for tuning in. I am Kyle Johnson, your friendly neighborhood biochemist. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos if you liked what you saw. Also, if you want us to cover a specific supplement, leave it in the comments because we do see and respond to pretty much all of them. We love you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.